Most males are never informed of this controversial truth. Women are not primarily drawn to their appearance, wealth, or status. While those items may prove advantageous, they are not the genuine catalyst for attraction. The energy of a male is something that women naturally respond to, often without even realizing it. It is probable that you have encountered it previously. A man enters a chamber and he is somehow observed by others. He is not necessarily the tallest, wealthiest, or most attractive. Nevertheless, ladies appear to be at ease in his presence. They guffaw at his jokes. When he speaks, they lean in. Meanwhile, another man who may appear better on paper is ignored. For what reason? Because attraction often has less to do with what a man has and more to do with how he conducts himself. Many men are taught the wrong ideas about attraction. They're told to impress women, chase validation, or continually prove their worth. But the strange truth is that the harder a man attempts to impress, the more he often pushes attraction away. Women tend to gravitate toward men who give off a certain serene, grounded, confident energy. Not arrogance, not loud dominance, but a quiet sense that he understands who he is and where he's going. It's an energy that communicates stability, direction, and emotional control. This kind of presence cannot be manufactured for long. It shows up in tiny things. How a man speaks, how he listens, how he reacts under duress, and how comfortable he is in his own skin. In this video, we're going to break down the specific qualities that create this kind of vitality. Think of this as a guide for men who want to comprehend attraction beyond the surface level. Because once you comprehend the energy women naturally respond to, you'll realize something surprising. Attraction isn't something you pursue, it's something you project. 1. Quit trying to impress women. One of the biggest mistakes many men make is perpetually trying to impress women. It sounds logical at first. If you want someone to like you, you strive to show them your best qualities. You attempt to show your achievements, your money, your intelligence, or even how funny you are. But here is the controversial truth. The more a man attempts to impress, the less attractive he often becomes. For what reason? Because striving too hard to impress usually sends one hidden message: I need your consent. And people can sense that energy very quickly. When a man is always attempting to prove himself, it creates pressure in the interaction. He might speak too much about himself, try too hard to be funny, or constantly look for signs that the woman likes him. Instead of appearing confident, he begins to appear uncertain and approval-seeking. Attraction usually operates in the opposite direction. Women tend to feel more comfortable around males who are relaxed and secure in themselves. A man who doesn't feel the need to continually prove his value often appears more confident. He is merely being himself. He is present in the moment, not performing. This kind of energy is tranquil and natural. Instead of focusing on influencing someone, focus on connecting with them. Ask concerns. Listen attentively. Share your thoughts honestly. Let the conversation flow without attempting to control how you are perceived. A man who is comfortable with who he is doesn't hurry to prove anything. He knows his value without requiring constant validation from others. And surprisingly enough, that attitude is often what makes people curious about him. Imagine two males at a small gathering. One man spends the whole evening talking about his employment, his expensive car, and the places he has traveled. He is clearly trying to demonstrate everyone how successful he is. Another fellow is relaxed. He listens to people, asks thoughtful questions, and occasionally shares his own experiences without exaggerating them. He laughs easily and doesn't seem concerned about impressing anyone. Over time, people naturally gravitate toward the second individual. The conversation feels easier around him. He seems more genuine and more confident. The lesson here is simple. Confidence is not about demonstrating your worth. It is about being comfortable enough that you don't have to. When a man stops trying to impress and begins simply being present, his energy changes, and that quiet confidence is often far more attractive than any attempt to perform. Section 2, attention is not a lure. Many males confuse attention with attraction. This is one of the most common misunderstandings when it comes to relationships. Just because a woman talks to you, laughs with you, texts you, or spends time around you does not inherently mean she is attracted to you. People relish attention in general. It feels wonderful to be noticed. It feels nice when someone listens, compliments you, or makes you feel important. Women are no different. They can appreciate a man's attention without necessarily feeling romantic interest. This is where many males become confused. They believe that if they give enough attention, eventually attraction will manifest. They send long messages, constantly check in, always respond immediately, and strive to be available at all times. But attraction rarely grows from constant availability. In many cases, too much attention too rapidly can actually weaken attraction. It removes ambiguity. It diminishes excitement. It also signals that the individual may not have much else going on in his life. Men who comprehend attraction behave differently. They don't rush to give unlimited attention to someone they scarcely know. Instead, they focus on leading their own lives while getting to know the other person naturally. This doesn't mean disregarding women or playing games. It simply means not overinvesting too early. Healthy attraction grows when two individuals slowly discover each other. It develops through shared moments, conversation, curiosity, and emotional connection. When everything is given too rapidly, the experience becomes less interesting. Men who continually chase attention often end up being seen as just a source of validation, not a romantic partner. The essential idea is simple. Attention is simple to give, but attraction must be built. Imagine a man who meets a woman and promptly begins texting her throughout the entire day. Every morning, he sends a pleasant morning message. Every evening, he checks in again. If she takes longer to reply, he sends another message just to keep the conversation continuing. At first, she may relish the attention. It feels encouraging. But over time, the excitement fades because there is no capacity for curiosity. Now, imagine another man who relishes talking with her, but also has his own schedule, hobbies, and responsibilities. When they talk, he is engaged and present, but he does not feel the need to continually fill every moment with messages. Their conversations feel more equitable. There is capacity for anticipation and interest. The difference is straightforward. One man is pursuing attention, while the other is allowing attraction to develop naturally. Section 3. Women notice tranquil confidence. One thing many males misunderstand about attraction is what confidence actually looks like. A lot of people imagine confidence as being loud, dominant, or always attempting to be the center of attention. But in actuality, the kind of energy that naturally attracts people is usually much quieter. It's termed calm confidence. Calm confidence is the ability to be content with yourself without needing to prove it to everyone around you. It's not about showing off, competing with other men, or attempting to control every situation. Instead, it comes up in the way a man carries himself. A man with calm confidence does not panic when conversations become silent. He does not hurry to fill every silence. He does not feel pressured to dazzle everyone in the room. He simply remains relaxed and present. That kind of vitality is noticeable. Many men know the sensation of being nervous in social situations. When you sense pressure to perform, your mind starts racing. You start overthinking everything you say. You ponder if you sound interesting enough, funny enough, or impressive enough. That tension is something people can sense. Calm confidence operates differently. Instead of attempting to control how others see you, you become comfortable with whatever happens in the moment. If a joke doesn't connect, it doesn't shake you. If a conversation slows down, you remain relaxed. If someone disagrees with you, you don't instantaneously feel the need to defend yourself. This kind of emotional constancy creates a sense of safety and stability in social interactions. Women often observe men who remain calm even when situations become uncertain. It demonstrates that the man is not easily shaken by small social pressures. He trusts himself enough to stay anchored. This does not imply being cold or distant. Calm confidence can still be cordial, friendly, and engaging. The distinction is that the man is not desperately trying to control the outcome of every interaction. Another essential part of calm confidence is patience. Many men rush interactions because they sense pressure for things to happen quickly. They rush conversations, hurry relationships, and rush emotional connection. But confidence is often gradual and steady. It does not feel the need to force progress. When a man moves through life at his own tempo, it signals that he is comfortable with who he is. He does not depend on immediate approbation from others to feel secure. And that energy is powerful because it is uncommon. In a world where many people are apprehensive about how they are perceived, the man who remains calm, steady, and self-assured naturally stands out. Not because he is noisier than everyone else, but because he is more grounded than everyone else. Section 4. Neediness drives women away. This is a hard truth many males need to hear. Neediness silently destroys attraction. Most males don't realize when they are being needy. In their mind, they believe they are just being caring, attentive, or demonstrating interest. But underneath those actions, there is often a deeper problem. They are pursuing validation. Neediness happens when a man begins depending on a woman's reactions to feel good about himself. If she replies promptly, he feels great. If she takes longer to reply, he feels apprehensive. If she compliments him, his mood rises. If she seems distant, he abruptly feels insecure. When your emotional state begins depending on someone else's behavior, that energy becomes noticeable. It creates pressure in the interaction, and pressure often pushes attraction away. Here's the uncomfortable portion. Many males have built their entire behavior around chasing approval. They overextend. They apologize for small matters. They constantly attempt to prove they are good guys. They worry too much about uttering the perfect thing. All of this signals one message: please like me. And that message is rarely attractive. Attraction tends to grow when a male has his own emotional stability. A man who is busy building his life, pursuing his objectives, and improving himself does not place all his attention on one person he just met. But many males do the opposite. They encounter a woman they find attractive, and abruptly their world begins to revolve around her attention, their routines change, their focus shifts, their confidence rises and falls depending on her responses. Men need to catch up to this pattern. If your pleasure depends on whether someone texts you back, that's not attraction. That's dependency. And dependency weakens your presence. A male with strong energy is interested in a woman, but he does not need her approval to feel valuable. His confidence comes from his own actions, his objectives, and the direction of his life. That kind of independence is potent. So here is the honest advice many men avoid hearing. Build an existence that does not revolve around chasing validation. Develop your abilities. Improve your vitality. Work toward meaningful objectives. Create friendships and experiences that make your life fulfilling. When your life becomes complete and purposeful, your interactions with women change naturally. You are no longer approaching them from a place of emotional starvation. Instead, you approach them as someone who is already stable and complete. And that shift in energy makes a larger difference than most men realize. Section 5. Purpose is more attractive than appearance. Many males spend a lot of time worrying about their physical appearance. They believe attraction is mostly about height, muscles, clothes, or facial features. While appearance can matter at first glance, it is rarely the thing that keeps someone intrigued over time. What often matters more is purpose. Purpose simply means having direction in your existence. It means you are working towards something meaningful. It could be establishing a career, developing a skill, growing a business, pursuing education, improving your health, or creating something valuable. A man with purpose proceeds through life differently. He wakes up with tasks to do. His mind is focused on progress. His time is not spent continually worrying about who likes him or who doesn't. Instead, he is focused on constructing a life that matters to him. This creates an altogether different kind of energy. When a man has purpose, he becomes more disciplined with his time. He becomes more focused. He becomes more confident in the direction he is traveling. These qualities inevitably change the way he speaks, the way he carries himself, and the way he interacts with others. People can sense when someone is moving with direction. On the other hand, a man without purpose often becomes trapped in comparison. He worries about how he appears compared to other men. He worries about being evaluated. He spends too much time pursuing approval because he does not have a deeper mission guiding his life. Without purpose, attention becomes the main objective. With purpose, attention becomes less essential. This is something many men need to comprehend clearly. Attraction is not just about how someone appears in a single moment. It is also about the vitality of progress. A man who is actively constructing something, improving his life step by step, often becomes more interesting over time. His conversations have substance, his decisions have direction, his existence has movement, and movement creates momentum. That momentum can be sensed in everyday interactions. When a man is excited about what he is constructing, it naturally shows in his voice and behavior. He does not need to constantly talk about it or boast about his objectives. The consistency of his actions speaks for itself. This is why purpose often outweighs appearance. Looks may attract attention immediately, but direction and ambition hold interest much longer. So instead of constantly fretting about how attractive you appear on the outside, focus more on becoming a man who is actively moving forward in life. Because a man with purpose conveys a type of energy that cannot easily be faked, and people naturally notice it. Section 6. Emotional control is powerful. One of the most underrated traits a male can develop is emotional control. Not emotional suppression, not pretending to feel nothing, but the ability to regulate your emotions instead of being controlled by them. Many males struggle with this more than they realize. You've undoubtedly experienced moments where your mood suddenly changes because of something small. Maybe someone says something that irritates you. Maybe a woman you like behaves in a way you didn't expect. Maybe you feel ignored, degraded, or misunderstood. In those moments, it becomes very simple to react emotionally. Some males become defensive, some become frustrated, some become overly sensitive. Others strive too hard to fix a situation immediately. But emotional reactions often make situations worse. When a man loses control of his emotions readily, it signals that his internal state is fragile. It demonstrates that external events can quickly disturb his sense of stability. People notice that energy even if nothing is said directly. Emotional control creates a very distinct presence. A man with strong emotional control does not despair when things don't go his way. He does not react to every minor problem like it is a personal attack. Instead, he remains steady and thinks before responding. This steadiness changes the overall dynamic of how people interact with him. When you are emotionally controlled, you cease reacting to every situation immediately. You hesitate. You observe what is occurring. You choose how to respond instead of allowing your feelings take over. That ability alone separates calm, confident men from those who are continuously struggling in their interactions. Another essential part of emotional control is not taking everything personally. Many men instinctively assume that if someone acts distant or uninterested, it must mean something negative about them. They begin to overthink, question themselves, or become agitated. But life is more complex than that. People have moods, tension, distractions, responsibilities, and personal challenges that have nothing to do with you. When you comprehend this, you stop reacting emotionally to every small shift in behavior around you. Your mindset becomes more stable. Emotional control also means you are not perpetually chasing emotional highs. You don't depend on attention, compliments, or approbation to feel confident. Your mood remains relatively balanced regardless of what is happening around you. That kind of inner stability is potent. It indicates that you are grounded. It shows that your confidence stems from within, not from external reactions. And when a man develops that level of emotional control, his presence inherently becomes stronger. Not louder, not aggressive, but steady, tranquil, and difficult to dislodge. Section 7. The man who walks away has the authority. One of the most misunderstood concepts in relationships is power. Many men believe power comes from control, dominance, or trying to hold on to someone at all costs. But the reality is often the opposite. Real power often belongs to the individual who is willing to walk away. This does not imply being cold, careless, or treating people badly. It means something much deeper. It means you are not so emotionally dependent on someone that you are willing to tolerate anything just to keep them around. Many men fell into this trap without realizing it. They start lowering their standards. They tolerate disrespect. They ignore behaviors that obviously bother them. They perpetually adjust themselves just to avoid losing the relationship. Over time, they begin to lose their sense of self. Why does this happen? Because they believe that losing the woman would be worse than losing their own self-respect. So they hold on tightly, hoping things will alter. They stay even when they feel uncomfortable, undervalued, or perpetually uncertain. But here is the uncomfortable truth many men need to hear. When you show that you will tolerate anything just to remain, your value often decreases. People naturally respect those who respect themselves. A man who has defined boundaries sends a different message. He shows that his time, energy, and emotional investment are valuable. He is willing to give effort, care, and attention, but he is not willing to abandon his standards just to keep someone engaged. This creates a very distinct dynamic. When a man knows he can walk away if something is not beneficial for him, his behavior becomes more balanced. He is not continually trying to hold everything together. He is not afraid to express what he truly believes or feels. That level of self-respect alters the energy of the interaction. It also removes the sense of desperation that often weakens attraction. When someone feels like they are your only option, your behavior can become excessively cautious and approval-seeking. But when you know your life will continue moving forward regardless, you become more relaxed and authentic. Walking away is not about intimidating people or creating drama. It is about having enough confidence in your own life that you do not remain in situations that repeatedly make you feel small. In simple terms, the man who can walk away is the man who is not controlled by dread of loss. Conclusion: the controversial truth. Here's a statement that might make some men apprehensive, but it's the truth. Most men are pursuing women the wrong way, and it's not their fault because no one ever tells them the real rules. Society teaches men to impress, to provide, to perform, and to continually seek approval. But the actuality is shocking. Attraction is not earned through effort, gifts, or words. It is sensed through energy. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could have the perfect physique, the best employment, or even endless charm. And still, if your energy is needy, reactive, or apprehensive, women will often drift away without you even realizing it. Conversely, a man who is grounded, purposeful, calm, and emotionally steady can naturally attract attention, even without trying. It's a truth that most males overlook, and it's controversial because it flips everything we're taught about dating on its head. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-mastery. It's about building an existence where your value is not dependent on someone else noticing you. When you do that, attraction ceases being a struggle. Women start noticing because energy speaks louder than words or actions you don't pursue. It occurs naturally. I want to hear from you. I want to know if you've ever experienced situations where attention didn't equate attraction or moments where your energy alone changed the dynamic with women. Drop your experiences in the comments. I read every single one, and I personally seek out to connect with viewers who are serious about understanding this. This is your chance to stop assuming and start noticing the energy that truly works. Remember, attraction is a sensation. It cannot be coerced. Stop pursuing approval. Stop being dependent. Focus on building your own existence and energy. And observe how people naturally respond to you. Your journey to understanding attraction begins here, and I'm excited to hear your experiences. Comment below and let's connect. This is not just advice, it's a reality that very few men genuinely